all you guys have accomplished, especially in the last 2 years. Do you still feel like you're a little underappreciated? And if so, why do you think that is?
Jordan? I wouldn't say underappreciated, but, you know, at the end of the day, all we can do is just come out and win basketball games. I feel like winning a game in itself is a way to get recognition. You know, we're going to the Sweet 16. That's a lot of recognition. We don't necessarily care about, you know, what the media says. You know, we're all focused on just inner locker room stuff, coming together, pulling together, and just playing our best basketball every night.
Gary Furman, CaneSport.com. If you guys collectively could just talk about the preparation for this game. I mean, from the opening whistle, it shone through on both sides of the floor. I know they took a lead for a few minutes there at the beginning of the second half, but just the effort that you guys put into the last couple days getting ready for this game.
I would say that nothing is given. You know, we got to come out and play, and, you know, preparing for this game, we know that IU was a really good team, and they are a really good team, so that we had to come with our A game. I think all my teammates knew that. We was on the same page, and we bring our A game from the beginning.
Hey, Norchad, Luke Cheney with Lifelong Sports. I noticed when Indiana made that run in the second half, you kind of motioned the team together and went and huddled. Just what was said in that huddle, and just talk about the run you guys made in the second half.
You know, I think we pulled together, and, you know, we talk about that runs happen in games like this. They're a great team. We're a great team too. We just got to pull together, you know, and I think we did just what we had to do in that moment. We didn't, you know, fall under pressure. We just stick together and keep playing the basketball that we bring the first half. We bring the second half also.
Trevor Anderson, Peaks.com. Norchad, you had a great offensive rebounding performance against a team like IU. How did you do that? What led to your success tonight on the offensive glass?
I don't know. If I'm being honest, I really don't know. I just like playing with my teammates. You know, they always motivate me to go do what I love to do, and I love rebounding. So, you know, I just went out. Say Nigel, Jordan was scoring. I just went to do my job. I rebound, and that's what I did.
Last one for the players. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rick Bozich, WDRB in Louisville. It seemed like you guys spread them out and beat them off the dribble quite a bit. Did you feel like you had an overall advantage in quickness and you could do that?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we got a lot of versatile guards on the floor. It makes it really hard for them to guard us, especially when guys are making shots from the outside. It kind of makes them expand their defense a little bit. And once they do that, and they got a principle of, you know, trying to pack the paint. And once they kind of spread out, I feel like, you know, our foot speed is really fast, and it's kind of hard to keep us in front. There's a lot of different guys that can do that on the floor at once.
Student athletes, thank you for your time. Good luck next week in Kansas City. Now we'll open it up for questions for the coach. Right here.
Coach Zach Mason with the Miami Hurricane. Just wondering how Wook is doing. He hit the deck pretty hard and then limped off. How's he doing?
He landed on his bone on his backside. So I told him he has to spend the next week nursing that. I don't know what you do with that. I don't know if you ice it or you get a massage therapist or no. But we're going to give him some 10 to 11 care, and hopefully he'll be back before too long.
Hey, Jim, Michelle Kaufman again from Miami Herald. Can you just talk about the opening of that game, the start of that game, you know, compared to, obviously the other day was a completely different story. It just, from the opening whistle, it seemed like your team was just flying and playing with so much confidence and joy. Why do you think that is?
You know, I mentioned earlier, they were not happy. The team was not happy with the way they played Friday. And now you see, like, Isaiah just exploded, 27 points, and was just terrific the whole game. But the two guys that got us going to start with was Nigel and Wooga. Those guys got us some key baskets early. And sometimes when you just get a couple of early buckets, it loosens up your team. And I thought tonight, you know, the way we defended and kept them from scoring early gave our guys a lot of confidence, because we were up 10 in the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes of the game. And when you do that as a player, you feel like, oh, we're playing well. And then we just kept it going. If you notice one thing, I don't know if anybody would have picked up on it, I never called a timeout. Not in the first half, not in the second half. Even when we fell behind, I felt like, no, our guys are playing hard, and playing smart, and they'll figure it out.
Jim, Michael Rothstein, ESPN. What does it say about your program at this point that it's made back-to-back Sweet 16s for the first time in the history of it?
I think so much credit belongs to my assistant coaches for the job they've done in recruiting these players to Miami, and to the players themselves who work so hard. You know, we have 2 transfers and 4 freshmen. Last summer, I saw them bond so quickly, get along so well on the court, off the court. You know, we just have really enjoyed each other's company. The coaches have the players over to their house. They hang out together. Coach Courtney is in the gym rebounding for Isaiah Wong like at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning most days. Isaiah wants to shoot on his own in a quiet gym. So he's there. And when you have an associate head coach like Bill Courtney, you really appreciate all the little things that he does. He was responsible for recruiting Nigel and Norshad and Jordan Miller and Charlie Moore. So, you know, got to give credit where credit is due. Great staff, great players who really bonded, and makes my job very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, Jim, Rick Bozich, WDRB in Louisville, right here to your right. Same question I asked the players. Did you feel like you guys had an advantage in quickness and speed, and you could beat them in straight line drives off the dribble?
Here's what I've told the team long before the season started. We're not the biggest team, we're not the tallest team, we're not the heaviest team. So if we're going to be successful, we got to be the fastest team on the court. And maybe even if we're not, we got to believe we are, and we got to always use our speed to create opportunities. Most of that means you got to be able to utilize your skills. So you're fast, but if you're out of control, it doesn't work. But if you're fast and skilled and you can shoot a jumper, like you see Nigel making some long distance threes. Someone asked me, do I ever get mad at him for taking those shots? I said, no, he can make them. I see him every day in practice make them. So you got to always shoot the shots you can make. And these guys are very good at shot selection.
Coach, your team scored 85 points. This is the most that Miami's ever scored in a tournament game. Just what were some of the things you did offensively that led to this type of performance?
We shot the ball really well. You know, the game is, I tell the players all the time, the game is pretty simple. We got to put the ball in the basket. We got to keep the other team from putting the ball in the basket. And the way you do that is you play great defense. You run back and don't give them any fast breaks, because when you don't get back, they get a layup or an open three. So we got to get back and set the defense. And tonight we needed to pack the lane. Against Drake, we had to come out and guard the three. And at the other end, we want to use our speed, get a stop, and then try to beat them down the court before they set their defense. And if we don't, we got to share the ball and get everybody involved. The job that Jordan Miller did, I don't know, how many points did he end up with? 19? Did you see him go to the basket and just take 2 guys right to the rim and score right on them? Guys who are phenomenal athletes, 6'10", jump out of the gym, and he's fearless. And I love coaching him. I call him the most underrated player in the country, but he should not be underrated anymore. Guy's like an All-American.
Last one, go ahead. Matt Rybaltowski with Forbes. Jim, congratulations. To expound on that, how does he compare to Houston? You have Houston next, and what challenges does their backcourt present with Sasser and Shet?
You know, my answer to that is pretty simple. I'm just going to enjoy tonight. I can't worry about our next opponent. I want to get back with my team, my family, and really have some fun tonight. We got to be up early in the morning and fly back to Miami, and then we'll figure out what our plan is. We only had one day to prepare for Indiana. And last night we made a decision, and this morning we changed it after reviewing them more. After researching them offensively, we had to make an adjustment before we ever even played the game. So we'll get ready for Houston when the time comes.
Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck in Kansas City.
Thank you.